guys, I'm Chris Buck and a very warm welcome to Friday Fretworks. Actually, in this case, it's going to be a Saturday Fretworks. Apologies for the tardiness of this video. The reason it's a day late is that I can't actually talk about the subject of today's video until today, June the 1st. I was actually embargoed not to say anything about it, and that is some very exciting new string gauges from Ernie Ball. Now, caveat emptor, I'm indeed endorsed by Ernie Ball, so if you're of a particularly cynical or distrusting disposition, feel free to disregard everything I'm about to say. All I would caveat that with is that I think I'm in the same boat as a hell of a lot of you, in that I've been using Ernie Ball for donkey's years. My first ever pack of strings were a set of super Slinkys that went on my Squire Affinity Telecaster. I've been using regular Slinkys on all of my Strats over the years. I've been using power Slinkys on certain Yamahas, Burley Slinkys more recently on my Les Pauls with a top wrap. So I'm pretty au fait with near enough the entire range of Slinky strings. However, I'm very excited to say that Ernie Ball have had their first foray into the gauge or half gauge string world. Now, they're not the first company to do this by any stretch, but it seems right only to repay their loyalty to me in kind, to be honest, and be using Ernie Ball strings. So, over the past 2 dates of the tour that we're currently on with Buck and Evans, I've been using the new Mega Slinkies. Now, these are 10.5 gauge strings, which for me in particular have come in very useful. Over the past couple of months, watching clips back from this tour in particular, actually, over the past few weeks, but just generally speaking from gigs over the past 2-3 months, been watching clips of myself that people are posting on Instagram or YouTube, and noticed that increasingly frequently my bends are a tad sharp. Now, I can put this down to one or two things. Firstly, I think my fingers are just growing in strength very slightly. The tips of my fingers getting harder, but more likely, I guess, the cause of this is just being a little bit buzzed on adrenaline. You've got 300-400 people maybe turning up to see your gigs. The adrenaline, the excitement is just manifesting itself in that slight over-exuberance of bending a little bit sharp. So I guess the logical explanation is, or the logical answer is to go up a gauge of strings to the 11s. But honestly, I think at this particular point in time, on Strats in particular, that's just a bridge too far. And on day-to-day use around the house, in studio sessions, they're just ripping my fingers to shreds. I'm not quite ready. So you can see why I've been so excited to try the half gauge strings, the Mega Slinkies. As I said, the 10.5s. So Ernie Ball were kind enough to send me a couple of packs out in advance to see what I made of them. So I've actually been using them on the last 2 dates of this tour, which the video clips that you're going to be seeing in this video are from Manchester and London respectively. So even if you don't like the playing in those clips, hopefully you'll agree that if nothing else, the bends are kind of in tune. So I've been very excited to try them and very excited to see that they just fill that niche that I've kind of been crying out for. To be honest, that was pretty much the point of today's video, is to tell you about these strings and just let you know that, at least for the foreseeable future, I'm more than likely going to be using Mega Slinkies on all of my Strats. So, as ever, I've been Chris Buck. Hope you liked the playing in this video. If you do, please do subscribe, and I shall see you next week for another episode of Friday Fretworks. Cheers, guys. Take care. I'll see you soon.